we are going to go live here. I make no guarantees on big fish or fish catches, but we kind of dodged the storm. I've been sitting at the house all day working, and I wanted to get out and fish a little bit. And I've been playing a lot around or with my active target, and so there's these little pods of fish that show up at like I don't know, like 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, if you can get out with the rains. We're going through the tropical storm down here in Florida right now, but they're not very big. But it's a great opportunity for me to kind of play with this active target and figure out how it works and that. And also, I want to try a little different angle on the live here too. So, what's going on, guys? But I'm gonna take a few sips of Coke Zero and how deep? How deep? Everybody wants information right off the bat. I'm in 22 feet of water. I'll show you the graph in a minute. But what I'm gonna do, this might be a little awkward because I have you guys up in the front of the boat with me, and I also have Mr. Bog. Hey, Bog. Hey, what's up, dude? But you're not so. Bog is not so happy. He's hiding behind the chair. So I got Bog with me, and but you guys are up in the front of the boat with me, so it's gonna be a little weird to set the hook and stuff like that. But I figured this way I can actually see your comments while I'm fishing. So I don't know if I want to because some of you guys bust my balls a little bit. But let's get to fishing. I'm gonna grab a Ned Rig. I'll show you what I'm using. Hold on. Actually, let's take a look down here. Let me put this Coke Zero. So I'm gonna turn you guys around right here, and let's see here. Hold on for a second. We're gonna have to. There we go. All right. So you can kind of see my graph right here. Basically, what I've been finding is there's a couple brush piles right out here, but down from the brush piles, I don't know if you guys can see it on active target. There's kind of like a flare of fish, and then there's another like 4 or 5 when the trolling motor turns right. Let me turn it for a second. There we go. See them down there? Those are bass right there. And what happens is they've kind of been like around some of these brush piles and stuff, and they kind of pod up. They get into these little like micro schools, and I've been using my active target to kind of pick them off. So we're gonna see if we can pick a few fish off. I don't know how big they'll be, but let's give it a try. What I'm gonna grab, I got 2 baits I've really liked to do. I hope you can get Saints game on that boat. I don't watch the Saints. I don't have time to watch football. I'd like to have time to watch football, but I got a little Ned Rig right here. You guys see me throwing a Ned Rig a lot. The reason I like a Ned Rig for let me line up my cast. Give me just a second. For this kind of stuff is I can kind of flick it around and sort of like pitch it out there, because basically what's happening is I'm seeing these fish kind of on the graph in front of me, and they might be like to the right here, they might be to the left, they might be like dead smack in front of me, but basically I can kind of flick it around, get it to the bottom pretty quick, but fish it like pretty finesse, and pretty slow and pretty precise too. Like I can leave it on the bottom and kind of shake it in that. So it might not be the best bait for catching bigs doing this, but what it is it's super functional. And it really tells me I'm trying to learn what the fish look like on active target, and I'm trying to understand how they interact with the bait. I can't always see the bait, but every once in a while I can see the bait kind of falling down to them and stuff like that. So I basically just been using it because it's so functional for me learning how to do this. And of course the wind is freaking blown. Sorry about that, guys. But I hope you guys got out to fish today. If you got out to fish in Florida, you are probably soaking ass wet. So I apologize for your situation. There she is. Whoa, he freaking hammered me. Hold on. We got one. Hold on. Like I said, they're not super big, but I literally lined this fish up, a Roland Martin now. You see how I hold it towards the camera? I'm lined up. Let me turn you guys here. Oh, dude, you can see them. You see them down there, how they all came up right here? I lined up basically right here. This is going to be really tricky. With my active target and my trolling motor, I'm going to like literally drop my bait straight back down here. And see, they're directly under the boat. Here, let me turn you guys towards that. You see them down there? These are the fish. They're directly under the boat right now. So I just kind of dropped my bait right down there, and they're right out in front here. God, they're everywhere now all of a sudden. It's weird because they show up like at like 5 o'clock, and then they get all antsies in their pantsies to eat. And it's like, where were you all day? Got one. Ain't big. Oh, she's a little better. You see how they came right under the boat? Dude? Look at Buck. Look at Buck. I don't want you to get hurt. You're a slippery joker. Nice little fish. Let's get her back. Oh, we gotta redo our baits here. So, you guys kind of get the idea. Like, we're kind of, I don't know. I think I used the word in the other live that we did. We're kind of like needle stick fishing, you know. Like, we're just kind of flicking the bait here and there. I'm gonna grab another lure and get back with you guys here. So all I'm doing, you guys know, I like throwing a stick bait on that Ned. So I've been cutting them in half because I'm not catching giants doing this, but I'm catching a lot of fish. But I go through a lot of baits, so I cut it exactly in half so I can use both sides. And then I take this thing, just slide it on. It's super. You guys probably saw in the last live. This has really been my my task the past I'd say like week and a half or so. I've caught some bigs and had some fun in that, but now I'm kind of like turning towards learning a little bit and learning how these fish set up and how they appear on the active target. So they're right back out in front of us, and there's a couple below us. So I'm just going to flip my bait out. Also, real quick, guys, it's like 53 you're watching right now. This angle with me in the front of the boat, would you guys rather be in the back of the boat and getting a more broad image, and then I can bring you up front from time to time, and then I'll just come back and hang out? Like, what angle do you guys actually prefer? Whoa, I think there's a fish. Damn, he had it the whole damn time, dude. I'm sitting here talking to you. On there again? Nope. But let me know if you guys want to be in the back of the boat to get a broader kind of like picture of what's going on in that. Just tell me, and I'll flip the camera back. There's another one. That's 3 in a row. Oh, look at Buck. Look at Buck. Oh, he ate it. Hold on, Buck. Chill, dude. Gotta get this guy back. Got another one. Good. Like, I should take a kid out here. The more you can see, the better. Angle of the unit. It's nice to see what's going on. Okay, so yeah, it is kind of crap to see what's going on. You want me to put you guys in the back so you can kind of see? The only problem is I can't talk to you and see your comments, but I'm gonna slide you guys in the back. I kind of agree with you. I think that's a little more functional. So we're going to do a little migration here. Let me slide you back in. Talk about a rough live stream, huh? But you got to try it in order to learn, right? Plus, we can see Bug. That's true. You can see the dog freaking out when I catch a fish. This dog does not come out that much in summer, but when he does, boy, he loses his mind because he's like, bro, I haven't been out. I love fish. I want to eat them. All right. So I think we're that good right there. And so what we'll do this like the classic live streams that we've done. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna fish a little bit, and then I will come back and hang out with you guys and answer any questions that you got. But basically, what we are going to do. Now I got somebody saying up front, show the graph better. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to catch a few more to kind of show you how I'm like needle dicking the bait, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the camera and slide it up. You guys can hang out with me and we'll do a little chat and that way I can fish while we're hanging out and that. But save your questions for a minute. Let's see if we can catch, because I think that's 2 or 3 casts and we caught 3 fish in a row. Maybe we'll catch a big one. Sometimes you gotta weed through the rats to catch a big one, so we'll see. What do you think, Paul? Is there a big one down there? There's about 30 of them down there, I'll tell you that much. Alright, where are you? So first step that I'm doing is I'm looking out, and these fish are like 10 foot right there. So I'm going to make a cast that's a little longer than 10 foot out to there. There we go. And let that bait go to the bottom. And ironically, these fish are kind of up in the water column. they've been eating the bait a lot as it goes to the bottom because it kind of like falls through them. So see how accurate my cast was. But once I get it there, I'll pretty much let it sit. I'm getting pretty confident about my bait placement, and so I'll just kind of like let the bait sit. I might drag it forward a little because I do cast past these fish a little bit. Um, but I mean, you'll know pretty quick if you're in the zone. And the thing is, too, like with this active target, yeah, you can see them, but if they won't bite, they won't bite, whether you can see them or not. You know, like it's not a total change all. It definitely gives you a lot more confidence to sit on something like this and sort of pick it apart and nibble at it. But if I sat on these fish for 10 minutes and I didn't get a bite, I'd freaking skedaddle. I won't screw with them. Now there's another little pod, I think like about 20 yards that way. So if this one starts getting all weird and stuff, we'll go try to find that one, and I'll show you guys on the graph how I do that. You should bite. I'm right there. Another really good bait to do this with, or rig to do this with, is a drop shot, because you can kind of sit there and sort of shake it right in front of their face, and especially if they're off the bottom. We might actually do that in a minute, but for now we're just going to see if we can't catch a few more. I sort of lost how they're lined up. Yeah, see, I go and put you guys on the back of the boat, and then I lose my groove and forget how to fish. Alright, where are you guys? So the thing that I'll do when I feel like I lost track or I'm not on point with my cast is I will go ahead and just spin this trolling motor a bit, because the transducer is attached to the trolling motor, so I can basically scan an area a little different than what we call like than what we call traditional scanning, when I'm idling around looking at my graphs and all that. In this instance, I'm kind of spot locked and I'm pretty much situated in one place, and I'll turn it off of spot lock and basically turn that trolling motor back and forth to get sort of a scan of the area and see how those fish move. Because one thing I have noticed, which is really interesting, and I kind of knew it a little bit, but the active target just kind of reinforces it, is these fish will follow baits and not eat them. They will shift like 20 feet, especially if they're kind of on bait and stuff. And if they're in open water, like on little hard spots and that, they will definitely shift. They'll move over 10, 15 foot, and you won't even know that they had moved. You're sitting there casting, bumping the bottom, feeling it. You bit it, didn't eat it. So that was the right cast, at least. But you won't even know unless you have the active target. It's going to be a 2 fish and done live stream here. Not so stellar. Come on. I think I might actually, I see some fish way off, like about 30, 40 feet. Yeah, a little more than that, 40, 50 feet way off. They're kind of, I might actually throw a hair jig at them or something like that. Alright, so we lost track of these fish. We need to shift around and make an adjustment, but that's kind of the beauty of it. You can fish super duper small with this active target and kind of skedaddle around. Damn it, they're right there. So they're like right below me right now. The other cool thing, like drop shot Ned, like I can literally drop this over the front of the boat. I just saw my bait going down through them. None of them ate it, which is disappointing. Oh, they're down there on it. Nasty little things. Alright, let's make a cast out of these fish. It's kind kind of cool though because you like select a group of fish that you're going to target when they're potted up like this. Because in summer they usually get in these little like 4 or 5 groups, or if you're lucky, they're in like mega and that. But for the most part, the ones that I've seen, and especially the bigger fish, getting like 3 to 5, 3 to 6 fish groups, and you can really pick them apart if you know they're in a certain area. You can identify where they're at and how they're moving, and it's a pretty cool deal. Let's see what we can do. See, eat my offer. Mine Walt likes him. You like that bug? Yes, the fish missed you. For some reason, dude, he doesn't like when I like. He like loves licking the fish, but when I put the fish in his face for him to lick, he ain't about it. It's almost like he wants to like hunt it down and get it himself. Or something. I don't know what his deal is. You're weird with the fish. You know what I mean? All right, so they're right below the boat right now, so I'm just going to do that. Actually, I'm going to do that. There's a big one there. Huh. Interesting. All right, well, my bait sits. I'm going to come back here and hang out with you guys real quick. Yes, Bobster is finally with us. It's cloudy and nasty hurricane, or not even hurricane. What the hell is it? Tropical storm Fred or Frank? F word. Tropical storm F word is here in Florida. And I'll be honest with you, I thought it would make them bite better. I actually did pretty good. Depth is I think like 21, 22 feet or something like that. 22, 21. It shifts because it's kind of like a little hip. Um, but I thought they'd bite better today. So I got out yesterday. Let's see. I worked till like 10, 11, 10 o'clock. And then I came out. I just told you the depth, dude. I said 22 feet. Um, so I worked till like 10 o'clock, and what was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh, so I came out, and they bit really good yesterday, and I figured they kind of bite good today. I came out and screwed around a little bit before we got on this live stream, and I didn't catch. I mean, I caught fish, and I'm sure I could run brush piles. I was looking for it. So yesterday I got on this like bite where basically it was like a hair jig slash suspended fish slash scrounger kind of swim bait bite, and it was super cool because I was catching them off the active target in very isolated areas where the bait had sort of potted up. So a lot of these guys fish brush, and I've caught 2 over 10 and a 9 off a brush. So I kind of want to do something else and learn something else. So I've been trying to play with the active target, and dude, I had like 26 and change yesterday, and in like an hour and a half, and I kept catching fish. It was freaking cool, dude. But it was in a very like isolated kind of bait oriented deal. Like they weren't relating to structure or bottom or anything like that. They were literally relating to the bait, and I used the active target to kind of pick them off from that. And I kind of figured it'd be just as hot today. But it hasn't seemed like they've shelled off or potted up as much. There's still a bunch of scattered fish on brush, and you can run brush and probably catch like, I don't know, like 20 pounds, 22 pounds. But it's not, usually when these storms go through, the low, that barometric low, really kind of gets them fired up, and they get in these groups and they go and they feed. And I don't know, it is what it is. So I can see the weather now. Yesterday was the sunny. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. It was the same weather and literally the same wind. That's what I didn't get. So I went out to see if I could catch some of those fish because I wanted to kind of do some of that stuff on live stream. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go make this cast here. Because I wanted to go ahead and shoot that on live stream because I figured it'd be kind of cool when we catch some bigs on that. But they're not. How do I put it? It's not as tight as it was, and it's really a struggle to what's the water temp? 85 degrees. It's really a struggle to get him to bite. So we might have caught one like freaking 6 pounder, but I'm not going to sit out there and run an hour and a half live and catch one 6 pounder, or maybe catch one 6 pounder. So there's something that definitely changed. Now I don't know if that means tomorrow it's going to fire up. See a lot of northern fishermen fish black hair jig spawners, but not a lot out west. Would they work here? I've actually heard about a lot of guys fishing black hair jigs for spotted bass, dude. Um, that's actually something because I fish black hair jigs on Smith Lake, and that's the same kind of spots you guys got out west. How old is Bog? And that's a great question because we got Bog from the dog rescue down in South Florida, and not even the dog rescue, from dog jail, from the what do you call it, like the pound or whatever, animal control. And they thought he was 4 years old, and I swear to you, he was not that old. But if that is the case, and that's true, Bog is about 7. I do need to feed Bog. He that's his only like thing to look forward to. He's like, dinner, because he was out here a little earlier with me, and it was hot as balls, dude, and he was sitting there panting and dying. Yeah, that's what he should be about, like around 7 on paper. He's lazy as hell though, dude. Like in Lawrence Ghost, I'm fixing to buy one. You have 47. Let's see here. Try the back side here. Okay, so I do have the 47-inch shaft. I do like the Lawrence Ghost. My one complaint is still in the super heavy grass. It does not perform well, I think, due to the prop. Oh yes, the spots will not eat a hair jig. They will not eat a marabou jig. Get some custom tied with a little thicker hook. All right, I'm gonna focus on some fishing because obviously I'm not getting bit when I'm chatting. So I'm gonna slide up here, try to catch a few fish, and I will be right back with you. All right. So what bait am I throwing? I got a Ned Rig with a fat ace, a tip of a fat ace. But I'm gonna change it up in a minute because obviously we're not catching a bunch of fish. So, all right, where did you go? It is kind of stupid how you can just like look for them and see them and then cast to them. But that doesn't seem to be helping. There you are. They drop back a little. Yeah, I wanted to get on a live stream with you guys last night. And dude, I came to the boat ramp after I got done working for a while, and I sat at the boat ramp for 45 minutes waiting for the rain and the lightning and the thunder to pass, and guess what? It never did, dude. Bog and me sat in the truck just kind of pissing around, playing around on social media and checking emails, and finally, I think it was like 6:30, and I'm like, this ain't gonna happen, dude. We'll try to get out tomorrow and do it tomorrow. That's got to be a brush pile. Yeah. God, if that was a fish, I would have had the new record on YouTube Live for biggest bass. Might have to run across the lake. I don't know if that's even feasible, but might have to run across the lake and go ahead and spot. Dude, they're right. It's like an 11-pounder on live. That'd be stupid. I think I would deserve a trophy. I'm not big into trophies, but that's trophy level material. Let's get there though. Yeah, especially when it's that movie. You're stupid. I do see you guys. Damn it. Well, I didn't think there was brush right there, and I did not see it. I thought there were fish. Looks like I pooch. Well, pooch. That was pretty freaking amateur. Yeah. Oh, and I broke my leader off. Wow, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'd have to do a little bit of readjusting here. So what I'm doing now, since I had to drive over the damn thing, I'm just scanning around, and actually I'm seeing some fish as we kind of drift by. So what I'm gonna do is I have a little wacky rigged drop shot rigged up. I'm gonna pitch it back behind the boat where I saw the fish, and see if they'll eat that. It's basically a 1/4 ounce drop shot with an ace, which is a 5-inch stick bait basically. And I like doing this in open water. I catch giants and I catch freaking 6-inch fish. So it's a good way to catch them. It's a good way to present, other than a Nico rig. It's a good way to present a wacky rig down deep. But in this instance, contrary to the Nico rig, it's off the bottom, which I think is good. Let's see if we can get some bites. Otherwise, we're gonna have to retire some stuff. 2D. Are you kidding me? He ate it, reeling it off. So maybe I need to throw something that moves that way. You see that, Bob? Maybe they're a little more active than I suspected. Did you get my weight? Alright. What do you think of that? That action there, George. I sometimes called Bog George. It just seems to suit him sometimes when he's derping around. Alright. Actually, maybe we can have some fun with this. So I'm gonna retie something real quick. So I'm gonna bring you guys down by me here while I do a little rigging. You gotta rig up here, Bog, because we done screwed up, broke off. I don't even have another Ned head. Alright, so what we're gonna do, I can actually show you this knot that I use if you guys are interested. It's the leader knot that I use since I'm too stupid to tie an FG, and I can't tie an FG. I've tried multiple times, and I fail miserably. So I use a little different knot, and especially on days when it's blowing like this, I'm actually glad that I do, because it's awfully tough to tie an FG in the wind. She's still blowing like 15 out here. So let me put this away. Alright, so what do we got here? Z-Man Finesse bullets pretty much let me fish a bed weedless. Yeah, the ones that I use are the nickels for this instance, because the fish are kind of nipping at it. Otherwise, I'd use if I want to bed fish with it, power, because it's a lot stouter. What did I do with my scissors? That hook on the power Ned's a lot stouter, so I'll use that if I'm bed fishing. But for this, I really don't want it like super weedless. I want it a little bit, like if I pick a little piece of brush, I want it to come through. But these fish are biting super light, and especially the how do you find bass without? Can you post that comment again? How do you find bass without? I missed it. It passed on through. But basically, I've caught some giant fish, like, and they don't even feel like they bite. Like it'll just be kind of like a slack bite. How do you find bass without live scope? In this case, you could probably get over these fish and fish them vertically. I actually see them on my 2D. That like that traditional old school sonar, and I can see them on there. So I don't see why you couldn't get on top of them and fish them with the 2D. I missed that comment too. How do you prevent your devil's horses from line tang? Oh, that's an easy one, man. There's two different ways for devil horses to provide to stop them from tangling up when you're fishing them on braid. Actually, there's three different ways. One, you can tie a leader of monofilament, which absolutely sucks, and I hate doing that, and I would not recommend it. Then there's JT's way. You take WD-40 tubing or some kind of tubing like that, and you cut a little piece of it about like an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter, and you take a bobber stopper. You put the bobber stopper on your line, you put the tubing over your line, and then you tie your bait up. And basically what that does is it stops it from tangling the line. I prefer something that Joe Holland taught me, and if you go on Tackle Warehouse, there under the pegs and the stuff like that, coffee straws work really good too. That's another good example. But make sure you put that bobber stopper in front of it. Maybe if you had an arm that hang a few feet below the side jobs. Okay, I don't know what that is, but what I do is if you go on Tackle Warehouse under the pegs and stuff, there's these things. I think they're like West Coast split shot pegs or something along those lines. You go on there and there's these little like sleeves. They're about a quarter inch long a piece, and they come two on a string, and there's like 5 strings on each batch. And basically, I'll put 2 of those, so they're a form of bobber stopper, but they're long, and they cover your line, and it basically makes your line kind of a little firmer. It has like a rubbery feel to it, and it allows that line to not get caught up on those bladed baits. Go check those out. I think those are the best, and they're the most subtle too. So I'm gonna show you this knot real quick if you guys can see. So what you're gonna do is tie a loop. Watch, I'm gonna tie it. It's gonna break, dude. And you have your fluorocarbon, and you make 3 loops just like that, and you pull it so that it's wait for it. See how I made a figure 8 right there? Let me pull it back. There's a little figure 8 that you can. There you go. See the figure 8? So once you have the figure 8 done on your fluorocarbon, you take your braid and you pass your braid through the figure 8, through the place with the tag end first, and then through the other loop, and bring it on through, just like this. So you have your figure 8 right here, and then I got a braid tag right there, and then all you do is you make a loop, and you basically tie what would be a uni knot. So you wrap it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do 6. So I have that line all wrapped. I have my little tag right there. Give it a lick. Draw it down. So you have that knot with the braid, the uni knot, and then you have that little figure 8 knot. So lick it in between. I like to bite the fluorocarbon that's dangling, the little tag, and tighten it up, and then you break it. Wow, dude. I should market this knot. So I can tell you exactly what I did wrong there. You need to tighten up the fluorocarbon, and I'm not doing it because I'm trying to talk to you too fast. So I'm going to tie my knot now that you know how to do it. I will tell you, I caught an 11.4 on it, and I caught I couldn't weigh that fish, but it was over 10. So it works. It works for me, but everybody's different. You know, use whatever knot works for you. This works for me because I'm not tying a freaking FG knot because I can't do it, and it's annoying. All right. So let me tie this leader up. That was pretty cool. Breaking freaking my leader knot on live. Hashtag real fishing, right? That'd be in the deleted scenes if this was some like pro fake freaking YouTube account. They probably wouldn't even bother tying it. 1, 2, So the trick with this knot is to make it work at least. You really have to draw your fluorocarbon in tight before you slide up, and that's what I made the mistake of that time. So my fault. But then you just clip your tag ends, and I'll tell you this too. For you guys who fish a lot of spinning tackle, you probably know this, but Tim at Hammond's Fishing up on Lanier, he hold on. He always taught me that a lot of guys will put like 8 foot of leader line on or something like that. And honestly, man, like you should probably be putting, let's see, there we go. Put like 14 foot or even maybe a little more. There's 2 reasons. One, if you're fishing a spinning rod with leader line, it's probably because you're fishing in pretty clear water. And two, if you're fishing any kind of cover, so for instance, the other day when we were doing a live, we were fishing brush piles with swimming that Ned. You're gonna break off. Like that's just the reality of it. So if you have like a 14-foot leader or so, it breaks off in chunks. So you don't have to retie a leader, which is the most obnoxious thing to do out on the water. Yeah, longer the better, dude. And nice. Yeah, that's what she said. That's what I said too. So I'm with her. All right, appreciate the live. Thanks, man. I like doing the lives too. You fishing the boat out there or brush? I'm not on a boat. There are no fish on a boat actually right now, so you can go look at that. Well, I'm not fishing brush, right? There's brush out there. Like what we're fishing is. All right, hold on. Let me give up all my naughty little secrets here. So somebody just asked. There's a sunken boat on. There's actually multiple sunken boats on this lake, but there's brush up here, but we're not fishing the brush. This is what I always like. I fished these tournaments on a lot of these lakes back in the day. I pissed off all these old men, and they actually wouldn't let me fish the tournaments anymore, which was fun. But whatever, that's another story. But they wouldn't let me fish tournaments because basically they'd be fishing a brush pile or something, and dude, I wouldn't get near them. I'd let it alone. Whatever. So they would leave the brush pile, and then I'd go over to the brush pile, and they think I'm fishing the brush pile. I'm not fishing the brush pile. Half the time, we would find fish that were located related to the brush pile, but they weren't in it. They weren't on it. They were around it. So, like, these guys would be set up fishing a brush pile 30 feet away, whatever. Fish, fish, fish. Nothing happened. So they'd leave. I'd scan it, and I'd find, like, a pot of, like, 5-6 pounders 30 yards off the brush pile. So they're relating kind of to the brush pile, but they're not, like, the brush pile's there, and that's what's probably keeping them in the area, but they're not actually using the brush pile, and that's exactly what we're doing here. These guys aren't 5 and 6 pounders, but there's a small little pot of fish that just shows up, and, like, they school around the pile. Like, the fish aren't actually in the pile. So they're kind of scattered around, but it is what it is. So, all right, so we got this thing retied. I'm gonna go ahead and put all my leader stuff away. Excuse me, Bob. I can get in there. Rig this up. So let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys want to continue fishing this? Do you want to go to another little like pot of fish that I have? We gotta drive either way, but I got another pot of fish in open water. These fish are on just kind of like hard bottom. I don't know if they'll bite. I don't know if they're there. We can go and fish those because this sucks. And these fish redman tournaments, yeah. I don't want to get into all the tournament stuff. It was a fun tournament little deal that we used to fish. It is what it is. But so choices. We got choices. So we got a pot of fish that we can go and fish. I don't know if they're there. We'll check. And then we also have a brush pile. So we can fish either a brush pile or a pot of fish. So you tell me what you guys want to do. I will give you a moment to think about it, but you guys need to blow up the comments right now and let me know while I rig up this net. So it's either brush pile or a pot of fish on active target. And we ain't got a bunch of time. So pod, brush pile, pod. Yeah, we're going to another spot. Pod or brush pile, pod or brush pile, pod or brush pile. Come on, guys. I see a lot more pods than brush piles. Flip a coin. No, man, I'm a little more democratic than flipping a coin. I don't leave things to chance. I let people decide what's best because people know what's best for themselves. Pod. Okay, so pod is definitely the winner. So we're gonna go over to this pod. I'm gonna put you guys in the in my hand so I don't go and lose my damn iPhone, which was ungodly expensive. So let me rig up this Ned. Hey Bog, what do you say? You want to switch spots and go fish a pod? Maybe catch a few more bass fishes? Sound like a plan, man? Get up, dude. Get, come on, get up. Get up. And run. We're gonna take everybody with us too. We're gonna go fish another spot. Peace out, fishes. Breaking off my net. All right, let me take you guys down here. All right, you guys still hear me? The dog is twice as big. All right, so let's go here. I've never run around with somebody on stream on the phone. This should be kind of interesting. All right, let me figure out where we're headed here. I feel like you guys need life jackets, dude. All right, hold on to your britches. We're gonna get on pad, see if I can not lose my hat real quick. I'm not going to scan them, which is probably going to piss you guys off because I don't want to ping them out. A lot of these little pops that I've been finding, that if you idle them, you can still catch them, but it spreads them out and they sort of like break off into these little chunks. I think it's against pressure out here. I use the active target to kind of figure out where they're at versus actually like idling them. But we might be able to see a few as we're rolling up that are kind of like scattered out behind. So I will show you what I can see. I'll flip this around in just a second. All right. I hope they're there. Well, it's gonna suck. So in this instance, usually I come off pad a lot closer to the target that I'm going to, but in this instance, there's fish kind of scattered out and they move around a lot. So I kind of come off pad and idle up to where I think they're going to be, just in case they like showed up like over there. So you can see there's a few fish off to the side right there. That's what we're looking for. They're not enough to draw my attention here. So see if we can idle up. All right, so there's a few of them. There's a couple little guys. Can you guys see that? Yeah. There's a couple little guys on the bottom, and I'm actually just going to turn this off. They're not really stacked and loaded. There's a couple more little guys on the. Yeah, actually, they're right there. We got to turn this graph off. Yeah. All right. You guys saw. You're excited. Those are all bass right there. They're bass on there. But we are going to hit the pause button because I did exactly what I did not want to do. So you're welcome. But you guys kind of saw those bass. You saw the arcs. How do you put it? When I'm a little unsure about if they were bass and stuff like that, I really rely on that 2D to tell me basically that there's some like yellow in it, which means they're bigger fish, pretty much. So I'm going to turn these guys off. All right, so I'm going to line up, and we're going to see if we can catch some bass. We need the active target to set us up here. Hopefully I did not spook them out, but we will find out soon enough. Actually, I'm going to bring you guys up here with me real quick, because I want to show you how how I find them with the active target, kind of, because they're spread out, so they're not like lined up. Like I can't go to a place and be like, that's where they are. Like I know the general area, and then I kind of stop on it and turn on the active target and figure out exactly where they are. So we idled up to there. So what I'm gonna do, actually, you can see them right there. Okay, so when I'm gonna scan with my trolling motor. You see them all right there? There's a little tight group right there. So I use this to sort of scan around. There's some up high. Where'd those other ones go? Yep, they're on the bottom. You see them right there. See them kind of flaming right there. So they're about 30 to 40 feet out. I'm actually gonna spot lock us right here, which is gonna spin the trolling motor head around. But did you guys see kind of how they were set up? How you can see like a small group of dots sort of like ahead of us. So basically, I use that active target to line up the boat. You can see them really good now. Oh, they just disappeared. Come on, turn back, dude. See them right there? All those guys right there. There's two. There's two. So they're kind of spread out. There's some more right there. They're kind of spread out. Do you think the ping Yes, I do think the ping bothers the fish. The more pressured the lake is, the more the ping bothers the fish. And that's one reason why I think. So I told you guys I caught like 26 and change yesterday. And it was almost 100% reliant on using the active target to kind of keep them lined up because they were chasing bait, and I had to kind of keep them lined up and move with them. I'm gonna fish while I'm talking to you guys. But basically, I think that ping, along with catching a few fish out of the pod, is what sort of screwed them up. That is a terrible freaking cast. Is what sort of kept pushing them back and like screwing them up a little bit. Because I kept having to relocate them. They kept pushing around, and it was really cool to catch a nice bag like that. But it was really frustrating because you'd catch two or three fish, you'd have to readjust, they'd move, and I'm not sure if it was the ping or if it was catching the fish, but I kind of assume it's a combination of both, because there's definitely, damn, those are actually some bigger fish over there. The reason I say they're bigger fish is when I get a nice whitish or brighter return on some of these dots, it usually means they're bigger fish. It's just like when you're looking at down scan or structure scan, and you're seeing some big dots. So we made a pretty good cast. Well, we're gonna catch a bass fish because I think I made a pretty good cast. Let's see if they eat. I'd love to catch like another 6-pounder doing this. Hell, dude. So oh my God, the worst hook set in the world. What am I doing with my life, dude? Maybe ate it on the way back down. I highly doubt it. That was some pretty amateur shit right there, dude. Don't do that. Because if you want to screw up a school, miss the first freaking fish, dude. It's the worst thing that you can do. Like, the worst freaking thing that you can do. And I'm dawdle dicking around and not staying focused. It causes me to make stupid mistakes. I get a little angry when I do dumb stuff when fishing. It frustrates me. But yeah, the reason it's just like on structure scan, the dots will show up a little bit brighter, a little bit larger, and that's how you can kind of tell the difference between bait and bass. It is not a linear proposition. It's not super straightforward, but it is doable. Actually, more over like that. All right, let's see if we can get them fired up again. Because one of the things I found with these pods too, and as I just like screwed that deal up, you got to catch a couple, and what ends up happening is they all come from like, I think there's some fish over here, I think there's some fish on the other side, and they sort of congregate around, like checking out what's going on. But you got to catch a few. You got to like get them kind of going, get them fired up, as they say. To draw them in. Try that wacky deal. damn fish. He had it. I guess I should have tied on 30 feet of leader line, not just 15, right? You're getting smart to my game. Alright, so definitely had it. So I see you guys. You're out about 25 foot. So I'm just going to. This is what I'm talking about with just kind of like pitching the net out. You see how I just kind of made that little slick with the bait? These guys are about 20, 25 out in front, which I always remember because my tape measures 25 feet long or 30 feet long or something, and I put it on my driveway where I keep the boat, and I kind of have a feeling for like, oh, that's 25, 30 feet right there. There's a bunch of freaking jokers down there. Actually catch it for a good one. That'd be awesome. There's a lot. Before it gets dark, I'm in at 7:30 and it gets dark at 8. If I swing something through them, they'll bite it. That wackery. These would actually be really good Ned Rig fish. I think I'm just gonna dead sea get down there because until they actually pull, I don't know that they got it. Like headbutting it, screw them around, get some direction in their life. They're teasing me, boys. Teasing me. They're sitting down there right where my bait is, staring at it. Going, you can't trick them. I don't know what the hell happened here. Second time they got the best of me. I'm gonna screw this up on live. I'm gonna totally blow it, dude. Blow it. So let's take a vote. How many of you guys say that Mikey can screw? How many of you guys say that I'm gonna screw this thing up? Because I'm literally like on the board screwing this thing up. Am I gonna screw it up? Yeah. Hashtag I screwed up. What do you think of the Mega 360 mic? I've never used the Mega 360. My buddy Matt, he has it, and he showed me some pictures from it, and his pictures are freaking stupid, dude. Like they're cool looking. I think it's different though. So like, never tie my leader knot. I can't even believe this, dude. All right, Bob. We're canceling this rod, and we're throwing a drop shot. Holy balls, dude. The Mega 360 looks really cool. He showed me some screenshots. The only issue is when it comes to suspended fish, I can see and track them 100 times better than him with my active target because my active target shows stuff in a vertical kind of 2D graph. Freaking horrible shit. And so, like for instance, those fish that I caught yesterday when I had that 26 and change, I don't think he would have been able to see them and track them the way I do or I did. However, at the same time, his 360 gives him kind of like a panoramic view. My scout mode does not work in deeper than like 8 or 10 foot. You can't see anything. So basically, he can go and use that 360 around brush piles and see other brush piles that are scattered around. I know, dude. I'm blowing this whole live stream, but whatever. You guys can laugh at me. Sometimes it's not about learning. Sometimes it's about joy and giggling and making fun of others. So feel free to make fun of me because thus far I've totally clowned this shit up, dude. Like terribly. So let's see here. Drop shot a zoom trick worm. Actually, it's really good. I might drop shot a robo worm. But I like doing this little wacky rig deal. And considering the fact that I'm sucking it up with the net and continue breaking them off, I'm going to just try to see if I can catch a few. I missed 2 bites, broke one off, and lost another. So, there we go. This is only a 50% failure, right? I need to tighten up my game, boss. Ooh, you want to jump in the boat, don't you? Hey, don't screw up my drop shot. I'm down to one finesse rod now. All right, hold on, guys, because this guy's got it a little bit deep. I gotta make sure he's all right. All right, we're good. Back you go. Let me show you this deal real quick because it's something that I do. I don't think a lot of people do it, at least as magnum as I do it. There's a little pound and a half, pound and 3/4. But what you can do, see, I don't know where Largo is actually, so I can't help you there. I got an ace right here. You ever use a Ned Rig as a weight on a drop shot? No, that's actually a really cool idea though. A Ned Rig as a weight. I got a stick bait. I got my Roboworm rebar hook, and I just find just below the worm sack, and I do that deal right there. I've caught some mondos doing it, dude. Like, some pretty good fish. Let me line up my cast here real quick, guys, and I'll be back. That should be them right there. What do you think, Bob? Scooch, dude. You're all up in my business. You're always up in my business, Bob. But yeah, I just flicked it out there. I kind of lined them up. Like, check out the Slim Beauty knot. I'm not going to lie, dude. This is going to sound like every angler. My knot works good. And maybe I rushed tying it, but like I've caught an 11.4. I caught it like last year. I caught, what was that? I caught a 9.5. Like I've caught giant fish on it. Dude. I caught a bunch of big spots on it. Like I never had problems with it, but I don't know. It's if it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong in the live stream. So. It's really hard fishing hanging out in the back of the boat. Your stuff out. I really don't even shake this that much either. I just kind of drag it every once in a while. I'll give it a few little, a couple pops and that. But hell, you gonna disappear on me? I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm jinxing it. Oh, had to say. He bit it and didn't get it. I almost want to rig up another Ned, but I gotta tie that stupid leader. Maybe I got another spinning rod down there. I do. There ain't much leader on that either. Got it. Dude, they done showed up all of a sudden. It's crazy, man. There's some like schools of fish that will not show up until 5 o'clock. Like they're not there. I don't care how many times you scan the same thing. They will not show up, dude. They're not there. They're just out roaming around, and then all of a sudden it hits some little like bell, and there's freaking pods of fish that show up. Are you kidding me? I hung the damn box, and I broke that one off too. Hot damn. All right, we're tying on the Ned, dude. I broke my weight off. Look out, boy. Escucha, por favor. Okay, got a weight down here. I'm gonna try something a little different. So I use these West Coast drop shot weights, and one of the reasons is they have that little pinch on them or whatever. And in this case, there's some like hard bottom down there. I don't know if it's like little limestone potholes or what, but there's some hard bottom down there, and it's nice because they kind of they pop off if you get them hung on something, which is what you want them to do, because I do not want to break my my drop shot rig off every so few minutes. All right, we're gonna try a little more compact bait down there, and something a little darker. And see if that changes the game here. It's kicking up. I might get rained on before we end this thing. Where are we at with the live stream time, guys? 113:60. Be nice to the pub. Oh, dude, he lives well. He gets to go fishing, go on truck rides. He loves that stuff. Need to add the free rig to rotation. What's the free rig? Tell me a little bit about it. I've never heard of the free rig. I love rigs. Ned Rig, Nico Rig. All kinds of rigs. Carolina Rig. I really do not like that thing, but I know there's a time and a place, which is a simple reality. Have you guys been catching them? Like, have you guys been out on the lake fishing? I know it's Saturday and that. Let's see here. Saludos! Saludos! ¿Cómo estás? I think that's the extent of the name. Oh, just 2 pounds. You like, yeah, Bob ran up here, dude. He's like, "What you got going on, homie?" You freaking ate it. Come here. I'm screwing up my drop shot. Come here. Get that hook up. Back you go. Dude, he broke my freaking weight too. I must be getting stuck on something down on the bottom there, and maybe it's catching, and then they're kind of seeing it, and it's getting them fired up. Hold on, guys. I gotta re-rig this thing real quick and put another. It's starting to get dark. All right, we're gonna fish for another like maybe 10 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up because it's getting dark out, and I'd like to eat dinner at some point in my life here. What I did is I switched up baits. I got a little, it's a Damiki Stinger. You guys know I throw that on a net a lot. And I got it wacky rigged for the water application. Shake it down. I wonder if I'm actually miscasting. I think they're right in front. What do we got here? Yeah, how many hours do you usually stay out fishing? I mean, if I get a day, I'll stay out here like 10 hours, dude. Like I love to fish. It makes me happy, and even if I'm absolutely pissed off and frustrated because I sucked that day, I'm still a happier person because I got to go. I hate myself, and I want to go back as soon as possible to try to figure out what I did wrong. But I'll That's no little guy. I like the little wacky rig drop shot. Now, if I was smart, I'd use this guy for bait. Yes, they eat their own, dog. Want to lick? He hates it when I let him, like, when I actually give him the fish to lick, he's like, I'm not about that. But when he just does his own deal, it's like he's a hunter or something. He wants to target his own prey or something. You don't want handouts? Right there. Really? I'm just flicking this thing out here and letting it say, what's for dinner? Dude, I'm doing it up tonight. So I bought a bag of salad. It's like Caesar salad in a bag. And I have tuna steaks from like Aldi. I don't know if you guys shop over there, but my mom left them in the house and they're frozen. So I literally get to cook a bunch of tuna steaks, throw them onto the salad, and eat a salad. So healthy eating, high protein, good stuff, and makes it feel good to hold on the rest of the amateur, yeah, dude. Should change the name, Lucky Balls Amateur Fishing or Amateur Fit. That would probably get more audience because I'm sure YouTube throttles me for having balls in my name. Even that's 6:46, actually 7:46. Stand by, 'cause we're gonna wrap this thing up in about 10 minutes because we gotta make a scooch to the ramp. Come on, jokers. Alright, I think I might have found some sneaky fish. There's some scattered out right over here. Once again, kind of the beauty of the active target. I don't know if I made a good cast. I might have gone a little bit. But basically what I did is I unspot locked myself. I scanned over to the right. And I noticed there were like 3 or 4 of them in a line right there. So I made the cast. It's a fruitful cast. We're going to have to tie some leader to the rigs, probably, you know. I blew up like a 15-pound fluorocarbon spool too, like an idiot. Like casting into the wind with a jig and went poof. So it is amateur fishing day. Saturday is amateur fishing day with Mikey. It is what it is. Amateur or not. Come on. So I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna do a couple more live streams before I wrap up. I'm gonna do a couple more from Florida, and since you guys kind of chose pod tonight, I think what we'll do is next week I'll try to be a little more diligent about posting that. I might not though, because it's all good. But I will try to get a live stream with you exactly what we're doing, but with a brush pile, and I'll take you in the boat and show you on the graph kind of like what things look like and how it sets up, and then we'll set up together using the active target on the brush pile. If you guys, would that be cool? Is that something you guys would be interested in? Try a big craw. I don't know. These fish are freaking moody, dude. They don't want to stay. Especially nothing big, to be honest with you. Unless you can find them like eating bait and then you catch them with bait. That's which makes no sense. Something a little heavy duty. It's moving. That's all his dick stuff around. Alright, we're gonna throw some bait a couple times. We're gonna wrap this live stream up because I need to get home. I got a half ounce, which is a little light, but I've been fishing a lot of suspended fish, so it's what I got caught on. So I'm fishing kind of slow. It's a 4.8 Kitech, so a little more compact, and it's smaller on that half ounce, so I can stay down pretty well. And then we gotta go though. It's starting to get dark. Shit. Freaking snapped it. I see my bait. Damn it. Oh, shit. I got it snapped. Try once more, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. If you guys got any closing thoughts, etc., save them for about a minute from now, because it's getting dark, and I need to close out this deal. Get on the trailer. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll pull a Donnie Bass. and get lucky and catch a magnum on the last cast too. Be a nice surprise. It's hard to believe when you can see them down there like that. You little jokers. They're just not willing to play ball, are they? Alright, maybe one more cast. I do not think I'm going to catch one on this, but if I do catch one on this, it's going to be big. I picked up a hair jig. It's a big hair jig. Just to see if we can't. I'm going to fish it pretty quick through there and see if I can like snap a reaction. I've been kind of noodle dicking them, and the swim bait's pretty subtle as well, even though it's a moving bait. But I'm just show you screw up my computer. But I'm going to kind of give it like and then let it sink back down to the bottom. But maybe I can get them to react a bit. If there's a big one down there, smoke it. But we'll try. I think it's getting a little dark for here, Jay. Yeah, I think it's happening. It's funny too because you can kind of tell these fish like are not in the mood between the way they're biting, but also the way I see them on the active target. They're lined up, but they're not like lined up in the sense of like you can see them in a row, like they're lined like at the buffet line or whatever to munch. So we're gonna wrap this thing up though. I do need a camera guy. So FYI for all you guys that are like religiously watch the channel, I got a buddy named Dalton, super cool kid, and he's gonna start shooting a couple videos for me, and we'll see how it goes. I am not hashtag big time, but he is super cool, and he's offered to kind of help me out and do a couple videos and stuff, and I think that'd be kind of cool. He has a totally different perspective with the camera, and he's kind of like an artist with the camera. He does cool stuff. So I think it'll be a cool collaboration, and like I said, he's offered to help me out, which is very, very cool of him, and he doesn't need to do that. But I think the edits are going to be absolutely sick. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Stay tuned for next week. I got some videos dropping. I got a video dropping Tuesday. I got a video dropping Thursday, and then somewhere amongst there, we are going to get live again and maybe knock down a brush pile. I got one brush pile that's got a couple 5 and 6 pounders on it. So next week we'll go see if we can't tap a few out. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. We are out.